find out if it's a fraction, if you want to turn it to a decimal and a percent. So this is what I always do on my notes, on my scrap paper. I do 35 over 100, 0.35, and 35%. And the reason why I do that is because I have to know I go 2 to the right to do that, and to do this 35%, I do 2 to the left. So it just helps me remember in case I forget. I mean, I don't do it anymore, but I used to. Okay, so then 13 over 9. So that is 1 4/9, right? So I know that it's going to be 1 point something as a decimal, and my percent is going to be 100% plus whatever this fraction is. So my denominator always goes here and my numerator always goes here. We go in alphabetical order. This is a D, this is an N. So if you ever get confused, you write from left to right. You're going to write the D first and you're going to write the N here, right? So there's a D there and an N there. You can always remember it. So my D is 9 and my N is 4. How many times does 9 go into 4? It doesn't. So we put a decimal, we add our 0. 9 goes into 40 how many times? 4. And it's 36. Then I bring down my next 0 and I see how many times does 9 go into 40? Again, it's just going to be 0.44444444. So I know that my decimal is 1.44 and it's a repeating decimal. So my percent is going to be, remember I go 2 to the right to change it to a percent. So I'm going to go 2 to the right to change it to a percent. So as a decimal, it's 1.44. And as a percent, it's 100 plus 44, right? Percent. So it's 144%.
Okay. For the first, wait, was that the first question?
That is 13 over 9.
Okay. Wait, but that was the first fraction you wanted me to turn into a decimal, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think
Yeah, you did.
I wrote it as a
like
next
this
number on accident.
Okay.
So I think that might have been one reason.
Okay, so here's how we do it. We always convert it, whatever's there, we convert it, and then D goes over on this side, N goes over on this side.
Okay.
All right, so for the opposite, now they give us point 0.204. And the reason why I do this decimal up here is because I know 35 100ths, 0.35, 35%. It helps remind me how to change it. Now I don't even have to trip on it, right? I know to change from a decimal percent, I do 2 over, so I go 2 over, and it's 20.4%. 1, 2, decimal goes there. Now, this one we do to change a decimal to a fraction. This is always the numerator, whatever the number is, and then the denominator is always the spot that it ends on. So this is the tenths, this is the hundredths, so my denominator is going to be 100. So this one is the tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So my denominator is going to be 1,000. And then for the next one, we have percent. So it's 47%. And I know from this one, I go 2 to the right. So I'm just going to do the same exact thing here. I'm going to do my decimal, 2 to the right. It's 0.47. And then I'm going to use this is my numerator. and it ends in the hundredths. So it's 47 over 100. And you would always simplify. So this would not be a complete answer. You'd have to simplify it. So you'd simplify it. You would divide it by 2. And you'd keep dividing it by 2. There's a bigger number that goes into 200. So I know 4 goes into it. But if you don't, you can just keep simplifying by 2s. Does that make sense to you or no?
That makes sense, yeah.
Okay. All right. Any questions on changing from fraction to decimal to percent?
No.
All right. So just to review, the fraction to decimal, you take the decimal numerator, and then it's 35, and then over 100. This has the last digit has to end on the hundredths. If it was 35 over 1,000, then we know this is my decimal, but this has to end on the thousandths. So this is the tenths and hundredths, so I need to add a 0. Tenths, hundredths, thousandths.
Okay.
And then to change it to a percent, we know from this one, we go 2 to the right, so I'm going to go 2 to the right, and it's 3.5%. Okay. So repeating and terminating, you're going to do the D and the N. So if I gave you 1/4, you're going to put the 4 here and you're going to put the 1 there. For the 3/8, you're going to put the 8 here and the 3 here. And for 4/9, you're going to put the 9 here and the 4 here. So go ahead and do those. And there's going to be a little bit of delay at minute 7 to probably, I don't know, maybe 4 minutes before we get this all done. You can mute me while I do the next thing, and then just come on when you're done.
Our red pencil is making loud noises.
No, that's okay. I like it. It makes me know you're working. Okay, to multiply and mix numbers, you're going to first change them to an improper fraction. So you're going to do 8 times 1 plus 5 and 7 times 4 plus 3. So this is 8 plus 1 is 8, 13/8 times 7 times 4 is 28, 29, 30, 31 over 7. And then you are going to multiply the numerator and you're going to multiply the denominator. So the numerator is 403 and the denominator is 56. And now the next step is to simplify this into a mixed number. So 403 divided by 56 is probably going to go in about 6 or 7 times. I'm going to go with 7. So 56 times 7 is 39. Okay, so 392. That will give me 7. And what is 403 minus 392? It is 11. So my answer is going to be 7 and 11/56. So first step is change to improper fraction. Second step is to multiply numerators. Third step is to multiply denominators. Fourth step, change to mixed number if needed, or simplify if it is not an improper fraction. All right.
Should I? Sorry
Okay.
to interrupt, but
No,
should
that's
I
okay.
go over my answers?
Yeah.
Or- okay. For this, do you want me to just say if it's terminating or repeating?
Give me both.
Okay. So I got 0.25 and terminating
Yes.
for the first one, and then for the next one I got also terminating 375.
Correct.
And then for 4/9, I got repeating and 0.4 repeating.
Yep.
Okay.
You've got it, darling.
Okay.
All right. All right. So any questions on any of that?
Repeating and terminating?
Or any of what we've done so far?
No.
Okay. Let me find out what is next.
It's adding and subtracting integers.
Okay, so do you understand the tiles or Cecil routines? I have no idea what Cecil routines are.
We have a lot of that in the book. It's basically he's on a tightrope and it's basically negative and positive numbers, and he goes back and like he goes positive and negative and does different routines. And then you like write out those routines, and
All right, so you seem like you feel good about that.
yes.
All right, so I'm going to have you do these ones, and then you can give me the answers. I will number them so that we can just say number 1, I got blah, number 2, I got blah, number 3, I got blah,
Okay.
etc.
For number 2, I got, for number 1, I got negative 16.
Yep.
For number 2, I got negative 24.
Mm-hmm.
For number 3, I got 16.
Yep.
For number 4, I also got 16.
All right, so number 4, we have a negative and a negative together, so we circle it and it becomes a positive. It's only when it's a subtraction and then parentheses, when it's a negative, parentheses and a negative. That's the only time we do that. And then it becomes 20 plus 4.
Then 24.
Mm-hmm.
And then 5. got negative 24.
So this one we do.
Oh, wait. Yeah, negative 24.
So this becomes negative 20 plus 4.
Oh, yeah.
So
Okay,
I would
so then-
rewrite it out like that, and then
Okay.
do your tightrope tile mat thing.
So then I got negative 16.
Yes. Okay, you already did chapter 2 closure, right? So did you have any
Yeah.
questions on any of that?
I don't think so.
All right, let's do, so they want you to rewrite each of these products as an addition problem. So how would you do that for this? 5 times 3.
As an addition problem, you would do, for the first one, 5 groups of 3.
Okay?
So you would do 3 plus, you would do 3 plus 3 5 times. Or wait, no, that doesn't. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3.
Uh-huh. And
So
then
then
what would you do for this one?
negative 2 plus negative 2 plus negative 2.
All right, so what would this one be?
The answer?
Yeah.
15 for the first one, and then negative 6 for the next one.
All right. So George is playing a game, but the spinner is incomplete. So you already did this one. So I'll come up with a new problem.
Do you want me to do this?
Yeah.
Okay. So for the missing portion, I got 4/8.
Yep.
'Cause-
Or 1/2. Yep.
Or 1/2. Okay.
Okay, and then we're going to do a scaling problem. So this is, it starts at 80, it has 4 tick marks in between, and it ends at 160. So how would you go about figuring this out, Lauren?
You could do 80 divided by 160, or try to figure out 80 plus what would equal 160.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
here it is. So I first looked at it, and what's your guess? What do you think each of these would be?
Like maybe somewhere in between 10 and 20.
Okay, so let's try 10.
Okay.
Okay, that's clearly not it. So I'm going to jump to 15.
Oh, it's 20.
So I'm going to jump to a 15. Okay, well, we're closer. So I know it's probably not 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I know it's not 15 now. So it's something between 16 and 20. So it's easy to count by 20. So let's try it. 80, 100, 120, 140, 160. Nope, not 20. So now we know it's either 16, 17, or 18.
Oh, it's not.
So if I count up by 16, I would get 96, right? And then I'd go another 16, and I would get 112. And then I would get 128. Looks like I'm on the right track here. And then I would get 144. And if I add 16 and 144 and I get 160, I have done it correctly. There it is. So my recommendation is just take a guess like you did, 10 to 20. 10 is wrong, 20 is wrong. Okay, so we know it's anywhere between 11 and 19. What was closer, 10 or 20? You know, and kind of narrow it down. What you don't want to do is try all of these. You want to kind of take a jump and say, wow, that was pretty far off. That was pretty close. And then adjust small if you were close, and adjust large if you were on track.
Okay.
Opposite of what I just said. If you were way off, then adjust large, and if you were close, then adjust small. Okay. Let me make up another problem. So, Mary has a bag of colored tiles. I have to make it up in my head because I know you've already done this. There are 10 red tiles, 12 blue tiles, 9 yellow tiles, and 7 green tiles. What is the probability that she will get a yellow? Probability that she will get a green? Probability that she will get a yellow or green? Probability she will get a blue? I'm going to give you a tricky one. Probability that she'll get a primary color.
Okay. Now, could you go up a little bit? So
Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. Okay, so for probability of yellow, I got 9 out of 38.
Yep.
For probability of green, 7 out of 38. Probability of yellow or green, 16 out of 38. Probability of blue, 12 out of 38. And probability of a primary color, 31 out of 38.
What was the blue again?
Blue is 12 out of 38.
Yeah, and you have to simplify them, so it's actually 6 out of 19. And then for probability of red or green, you got what again?
Wait, for red or green? Oh, I didn't see that.
Or not red. Sorry, yellow or green.
Oh, okay. Yellow or green, I got 16 out of 38.
Yeah.
Oh, and I didn't do not blue. Not blue would be,
I just added that one. Yeah.
Oh. But not blue would be, 17, right? I got 26 out of 38 for not blue.
Yeah, and then we simplify it.
And then you, but,
Whoops. And then I don't know if your teacher asked you to change them into percents, but this doesn't mean anything to me. So for me, it's more useful to change them all into percents, but if she doesn't ask for it, if she says that she just wants it like this, then, there's 3 ways to show probability. There's 9 over 38, there's 9 colon 38, and then there's a percent. So you would take the 38 and the 9, and it would go in, I already did it, so it'd go in 24, and then it would be 24%. Because this doesn't mean anything to me. I don't really get what 9/38 means, but this means something to me. Then I can go, oh, it's about 25%. That's pretty good odds. And then this one is 18%. I already did it, so I'm just showing you. This one's 42%. Doesn't that make more sense to you? Like, oh, I have a good chance. This, to me, doesn't make sense, but however she wants you to do it, that's how you're going to show it. And then to get a primary color, it's like almost 82%. So the chances of you getting a primary color is very high. And I can't really see that as well with the fractions, but the percent really makes me happy because I can see what those are. So do it however she wants you to do it. And then the last one is 68%. So that is how to do that. And then you get that to find not blue, you basically add up whatever's not blue.
Yeah.
Or you can do the total minus blue. Either way. Okay, and then let's just go over mean, median, mode, and all of that. Okay, so
I do get confused with mean and median a lot. She did say one thing that I'm happy about for the test, we get a note card that we can write any information
Good.
in case we forget.
And
So
you are so neat and you write so clearly that will be like
Yeah.
some people, no, not too good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the mean, you add all the numbers together and you divide by the number of numbers. So an example, and I would put an example on, is 3, 2, and 8. You would do 3 plus 2 plus 8. You would get your answer, which is 13. Let's pick an easy one. 3, 3, and 8. So we'll do 3 plus 8 is 14 divided by 3. Yeah, that doesn't help us.
Okay.
Let's see. 2, 2, and 8. That'll help us. So 2 plus 2 plus 8 is going to give me 12. And then I'm going to divide that. There's 3 numbers here, so I'm going to divide that by 3. So my mean is 4. And then for the median, you list them least to greatest. So for this one, it would be 2, 2, and 8. Let's do a different set because that would just be a weird median. 4, 3, 6, 9, 7, 5. So you would list them least to greatest. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. And then you're going to make sure you get all of them by crossing them off. And you cross off this one and this one. Then you cross off this one and this one. If you're left with 2, you add those together and you divide by 2.
Okay.
If you're left with 1 number in the middle, then that is your answer. So for this one, 2, 2, and 8, that would be your median. Most of the time, when they say what is a better measure of the data, if you have to guess and you can't see it, mean is almost always the best predictor of what is the median, what is the average, right? So if they say, here's a set of numbers, what's the best predictor of blah, 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 and they're looking for the average, median can be very deceiving. Like in this, it's not a very good predictor, right? The mean is 4, and this is 2. 2 does not account for 8. 4 is closer to 8, right? So neither one of them in that example are very good because we have an outlier here. You've learned about outlier, right? Or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you have an outlier, it throws all of your data off and it gets confusing, and so you just have to look at the particular thing if they ask you something like that. You can find the mean and median and find out which one is the best predictor of the score. Okay, any questions with any of that?